Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dawn. And on our channel, we try to unplug from all the craziness out there, the high prices and all the headlines that you keep hearing from all over the world. Just get away from that for a few minutes and unplug, relax, and have fun. Do some good, easy tips on how to save money or do recipes, go on travel videos, things like that. So on today's unplugged journey, I have two really easy, 5 ingredients each, really common ingredients, recipes that you can make for summer. One is a treat that you can take with you. You can take it wherever you need to go. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. My son is an EMT, and his EMT buddies absolutely love this because they can take it, it fills them up, and I won't say too much yet. I'll show you in a few minutes, but we'll go over that. And then the other one is a really fun, easy dessert that is made special for summers. Love taking it. Going to take it to a potluck here really soon, so I'll show you that one too. So come along with me, unplug for a few minutes, just take a breath, relax, and let's have some fun. Now, this first summer treat is just wonderful. And like I said, my son is an EMT. I don't know if you have EMTs, paramedics, those kind of people in your family, but I tell you, not only do they give so much of their time and their energy and their emotions, but they don't get to eat very well because they're always running off because they never know when they're going to get a call. And when I started making these, my son took them to the station and it became an instant hit, an instant favorite, because you can't keep refrigerated things out in the ambulance and they're racing and running around and doing things, and you don't have to refrigerate this. So whether you're an EMT or not, this is a great snack to have. It's a great snack for your family. You can keep them, when you're getting ready to go out. Now I keep them in the refrigerator just, I guess I don't know why, but I just keep them in there for extra freshness when I'm home. And then when I go places, we take them out and we're gone all day long, and we'll eat a couple in the morning or something. And then when we start feeling hungry again, we'll eat again, and it'll be a little bit, just eat a couple more of the protein balls, and fills you right up, gets you satisfied. It's just sweet enough. And so I think you're really going to like this one. And again, 5 ingredients, super easy. So I'm going to go over the ingredients first. The first two ingredients is oat flour and peanut butter. Now, with the oat flour, I make my own. I did not realize when I was younger how easy it is to make your own things. I guess that's just lost maybe on our generation. We kind of grew up, at least the people that I knew, our parents were working, and we grew up on processed foods and those little tiny TV dinners. They called them TV dinners, and we'd eat them on TV trays, and so we didn't have a lot of time in the kitchen with grandma making things and stuff like that. And I tell you, it is so easy to make oat flour, and with all the prices going up and all the things that are just inflation, I would really encourage you to try it and see what you think. So you just get some old-fashioned oats. We use the organic ones from Azure Standard. I love Azure Standard. Not affiliated with them at all. Did a video on them, but I love their products. I love their organic products. So you might check them out. There's always a link below for them. But you just put that in a blender and you blend it. And that's it. And that's oat flour. So you use oat flour. And then you can use crunchy peanut butter or creamy, depending on what you like better, or you can make some of both. I always use the crunchy one, but if you have a peanut allergy, you just don't like peanuts or whatever, you can also use any other nut butter. So you can use almond butter, or you can even use sun butter if that's something that you need to do in your family. So that's an easy way to do that. But this whole thing is vegan. It just is. And so that makes it nice too. So the oat flour, the peanut butter, or whichever nut butter you're going to use, and then somewhere between 1/4 to 1/3 a cup of honey. Now we use the raw organic honey, and again, check that out for yourself, see what you think, but we try to get away from the sugars and things. They're just not good for you. And like I said, when you're trying to eat as healthy as you can, that's an easy way to do that because it's still sweet. It tastes amazing. And of course, if you know EMTs, they like their sweets, and so they always get the third a cup. But my husband likes the fourth a cup. He doesn't like it quite as sweet. So you see where your preference is when you've made it a couple times. You'll know what kind you like. So there's that. So the oat flour, the peanut butter, nut butter, the honey, and then some type of whatever your whey protein or pea protein. Now that's where it might not be vegan for you, and that's okay if you don't need it to be or don't want it to be. I use the pea protein from Azure Standard because I can't have the milk, so about 2 tablespoons of that, and I'll go over all the ingredients in a moment, and the recipe will be down below as well. So there's that, and then the last piece of sweetness and fun is your chocolate chips. Now I use the dairy-free kind. Of course, there are just so many chocolate chip options out there, but just a fourth a cup of the chocolate chips. If you didn't want to put the chocolate chips in, you didn't want to use those, you can substitute nuts, a fourth a cup of nuts. These walnuts here, we get those at Costco, and they're real good, and you just chop those up, and you can put those in there too. So that's an option, but for us, we're just going to use the chocolate chips. That's what I always use, and I'll show you how easy this is to throw this together. Okay, so we just want to get a bowl. We put the 1/2 cup of the oat flour in the bottom of the bowl, and then we add a 1/2 cup of the peanut butter or whatever nut butter you want to use. After you put your nut butter in there, then you put your honey in there, however much you want to use. I would suggest starting out with the 1/3 cup and then seeing if you want to adjust it or not. That seems to be just about right for me. Like I said, my husband doesn't like things quite so sweet, so he went with a 1/4 of a cup, and he likes it that way, so just see what you think. I have the honey in there, the peanut butter, and the oat flour, and I'm going to stir that all up before I put in the pea protein. I, again, use the pea protein from Azure Standard. That way I keep it vegan, and it makes it very easy. And the scoop there comes with it, and I just do 2 scoops. If you didn't have a scoop for your protein, you can use these tablespoons here. This one's a 2 tablespoon, and you can use 2 tablespoons and put that in there instead. And again, that could be any of the whey proteins or the vegan protein powders that you really like. You can put any of those in there. I just use the unflavored pea protein. I don't want to take away from my other ingredients. So that's what I use, and that's what I'm going to put in there. I use 2 of these, or you could use 2 of these or a 1/4 of a cup. Anyway, however that works for you. So I stir that up, and then the last thing we're going to do is put the chocolate chips in there. I wanted to show you before I put the chocolate chips in there. You'll see it's a pretty stiff dough, and that's perfectly fine. We want it that way because we're going to make those protein balls out of there. So now I'm going to put the chocolate chips in there, and this will be ready to go. There it is with the chocolate chips in it. And again, it's a really stiff dough, and that's perfect. Now I will put that in the refrigerator for about 15 to 20 minutes because I have found otherwise it's just a little sticky to work with when you're making the actual balls. So I'm going to get that in the refrigerator, and then I'll be right back when I'm ready to make the actual protein balls and put them in the container. We have had this in the refrigerator now for about 20 minutes. And that helps so that when you make these peanut butter balls, it doesn't stick to your hands, or it doesn't stick to whatever you're going to use. I do use just clean hands, and I make these. I found that really easy and simple. If that's not something you want to do, then you can do it a different way with a spoon or something. But just take however much you want to make your round ball, because let me show you. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. So it can be big like this, or you might want to make several small ones like this. It really doesn't matter. It's just up to you what you want to do. So I get these containers here from Costco. They're the Snapware ones, and these ones are just perfect for these peanut butter ball recipes. They fit just perfect in there. So however big you want to make your balls, you just roll them up like that, and then you put them in here one after another. And then I'm going to do that really quickly, and I'll come right back when I get them mostly done. Here they are. And you just put the lid on there, and these are ready to go. Perfect snack to take with you. And I will tell you that these are just not only delicious, they fill you up. You only need, what we find is about 3 to 4, depending on how big you choose to make these, but about 3 to 4, and you're full, you're good to go. And they've got that healthy peanut butter in there, and they've got the either the whey protein or the vegan protein, whatever you used, all of those things, it helps keep you full. So like for us, we're going to that potluck tomorrow and it's about 2.5 hours away from here. So we're going to take these with us. And then on the way up, you can just grab a handful of them and eat those and you're good to go. You don't have to stop and get fast food. You don't have to spend money on those crazy prices out there or eat some gas station food that you don't know where it's from. You don't know who's touched it and you don't know what's in it. You already know, and it's good and healthy. So try this. I think you're really going to like them. If you do try them, put a comment down below. I'd love to see what you do with yours, and maybe if you do a variation, that would be great too. All right, now after the scripture break, then I'm going to show you the second dessert, the summer dessert. Oh, it's so good. For the scripture time in Proverbs 14, the Lord reminds us that a heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. And as you know, we can have peace in Jesus that passes all understanding, and there's links down below for that. And in the Gospel of John, which I greatly encourage you to read, he reminds us why he wrote his gospel. In the chapter 20, verse 30 and 31, he says, Jesus performed many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not recorded in this book. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. I hope that you really do try those peanut butter protein balls. You will love them. Kids will love them. EMTs love them. It is just wonderful. And it fills you up with just a few of them. So you can keep them. They don't have to be refrigerated, like I said. And it's a wonderful, wonderful treat. Now, the second one, as I mentioned before, is a dessert. Of course, you don't have to eat it for dessert. You could eat it anytime you wanted to, but we really like this for dessert. We have had this since I was a little girl, and we always had it at Thanksgiving at that time, but I think it's just the perfect summer dessert. And I liked it so much that even when I was 8, 9 years old, I taught myself how to make it. Now, it is called pistachio salad, but we called it green stuff, and that's what it would even be on the menu. Dawn's bringing the green stuff. So I'm going to show you how to make this, and there's 2 ways you can make it. You can make it regular, or you can very, very easily make a couple of tweaks and make it vegan. If you've watched my channel and some of the food videos on there, you might know I cannot have cow's milk. So I can't have regular Cool Whip, but it's a really easy way to switch it out. So this is all that we need. Again, 5 ingredients. This is all we need. You do need pistachio salad, pistachio pudding mix. Now that's the dry mix, the one that you get by the Jello and that kind of thing. And it doesn't matter which one you get. I've never tried the sugar-free. I suppose you could try that, but we're having dessert and we're having fun. So we get the regular one on that. So the pistachio pudding and pie filling. It's just the dry mix. That's what you need. 1 small box of that. And then you're going to need about a cup of marshmallows, mini marshmallows, the small ones. Now, I will say, as far as the vegan part, I get mine from Safeway, and this is one of theirs. And when you look at the ingredients, it's vegan. So, but I just have to make sure it doesn't have milk in it. So if you're completely vegan and there's something in marshmallows that you don't like, I know they do sell vegan marshmallows at our local natural grocers. There is one. I've gotten them before. I don't see any difference in it, but maybe for you, that's something. So if that's important, you can get vegan marshmallows on that. And then some type of nuts. We get nuts in big containers like this because it's economical. It makes it easy. So you just need about 1/4 of a cup of chopped up nuts. But you can buy those little ones in the baking section that are already chopped up for you. We really like pecans. It just has some type of, it always reminds me of ice cream and desserts and things. So we chop up pecans in ours. But you could use pistachios. You could even use walnuts or something. Just try it out yourself. See which ones you like. So whichever nuts, or if you can't have a certain type of nut, but you can have another one, then you could substitute for that. So that you need that. you need 1 can, 1 small can of the crushed, make sure it's crushed, pineapples. And this one is 8 ounces. So the 8-ounce can of the crushed pineapples. Do not drain it and get rid of the juice or drink the juice because you're going to need it for the recipe. So just telling you ahead of time there. And then the other ingredient is the whipped cream. This is the regular whipped cream. Everybody knows this, or this kind here. This has milk in it as well. Now this one, I will say, True Whip makes a green one, and I haven't got it in a little while because they don't have it up here where we are very much. I have to go down to the Springs to get it. But when I was getting the green one like this, it is also dairy free. So kind of keep that in mind and check that out. That one might be dairy free for you. Or this one is dairy free as well. This one is vegan. So it's very easy to get the vegan one. And that's the other part of the switch, is to go, the marshmallows, if you feel like you need to, check that out. And then you would use the vegan whipped cream instead of using the regular whipped cream like I'm going to do in this recipe because I've already made my vegan one. I'm going to be using the regular whipped cream when I make this. So the way that you start, you do need a strainer. Just any kind of small strainer will do, and a bowl. And you put the strainer over the bowl, and then you're going to put your pineapple juice in there along with your pistachio dry mix. And that's one that, at least for us when I was growing up, that's not the way the original recipes that the grandmas and all that had made. And for some reason, it's not as creamy and fluffy if you don't drain the juice first. So to me, that's a really key thing. And that's what I started doing when I was 8, 9 years old. So I put the pistachio mix in there dry, and then I drain the pineapple juice in there. Don't put the pineapples in yet, just the juice. And we're going to stir that up really good. That's the first step. I wanted to show you up close what it looks like. So there is the pistachio pudding mix in the bottom, the dry mix, and I have put the crushed pineapples on top. Now, another secret that I use that really helps it gets creamy is you get out as much of that juice as you can before you add the other ones in there. And that's really important. So what I do is I take a big spoon and I just push down on that and get all the juice out of there that I can, for as long as it seems to be going out quite a bit. And I'll do that until I get all the juice in the bottom, and then I will stir that up. See how flat the pineapples, the crushed pineapples are, and that's about how much juice I got out of that 8-ounce can. So the next step is to stir that together. Just the pistachio salad mix and the pistachio pudding mix and the pineapple juice. And I stir that really, really well, making sure that I get all of it stirred up, that there's not any chunks left of the pistachio mix that's dry. And I get that really well mixed together before I put the pineapples in next. That is stirred really well together, no dry pieces left. Then I just dump the pineapples in there. And I go ahead and get them all stirred in before I add anything else. It just seems to work better. Even the grandmas and the older aunts and everybody would tell me that mine was always tasting the best, even when I was little. So these are the things that I did differently than them, and I don't know why, but it seemed to make a difference. All right, so we've got that stirred in pretty well. Now you can put in your nuts and your marshmallows. I usually put the nuts in first, but it doesn't seem to matter that much if you put them in together or not. And again, about 1/4 of a cup, more or less, it doesn't matter. You've already got some nuts in there with the pistachio pudding mix. So you just put 1/4. If you like nuts really, really well and you want yours nutty, of course you can put a little more too. But we just use that one I showed you. We use the big one and we chop them up ourselves. If you're in a rush for time, you just don't have time, you got kids at home or a really busy life, nothing wrong at all with buying the prepackaged chopped up nuts. I used to do that when the 5 kids were home, absolutely. So I get that stirred in there. And you see this is really thick right now, but once we get the Cool Whip in, it just turns fluffy and soft and yummy. All right, so that got that in there, and then I put the cup of the mini marshmallows, and again, these here are, to me, they're vegan. They don't see any difference, but I do see that they sell vegan marshmallows, so you check that out for yourself and see what you think, see if you think you need that. All right, so we've got all of that in there. Now the difference is that I'm going to fold in the whip topping or the Cool Whip. I'm going to fold that into there rather than just stir it up. I just emptied this whole container here of the whip topping and I put it just on top because I'm going to fold it over. And if you don't know what that means, you basically take the bottom and just gently fold it and do that 2 or 3 times and get it all mixed in really well rather than stirring it up, and that keeps it creamier. You can do it the other way, so if you forget or whatever, it's not the end of the world. It still tastes wonderful, but it will be fluffier if you can fold it. I wanted to put that back so I could do this, but I want to also show you, just in case you haven't folded or don't really know or whatever, but you just gently do that. So you're going underneath and you're pulling it up and you're folding it in rather than just stirring and stirring and stirring. And again, you can stir it in. It just won't be quite as fluffy, but it's still good. It's still wonderful. All right, I'm going to fold this really quick and then we'll get it into the container. And there we have it, pistachio salad, or as we called it in our family, the green stuff. It is absolutely delicious. It's sweet, it's fluffy, it's just fun. It's a fun dessert to bring to any summer outing that you have, or like I said, we always brought ours to Thanksgiving as well. So got it in the container, going to get it all ready to go, and we're taking this to a potluck tomorrow to enjoy, both the vegan one and the regular one. That is it. You have the protein peanut butter balls and the pistachio salad, or as we always called it, the green stuff. 2 5 ingredients, really easy, quick to make summer treats that you can have. And this one is healthy for you as well. This one is just fun to take along and eat and enjoy. And I'll have the recipes down below for you. That is it for our unplugged journey today. I hope you enjoyed making those along with me, and I hope you will try them. They are super fun and delicious and really, really easy. If you're enjoying watching these videos and coming along and unplugging with me, would you please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell? It really does help the channel, and you know, we get the statistics, and if we had everybody that watches our videos subscribed, we would have almost 1,500 subscribers. So please do that. It only takes a second. And if you like this video, please also hit the like button. We have a couple of fun videos coming up, like we're going to do the tent review on the Alaska Guide 4-season tent. We have a couple of campgrounds up here in the Colorado mountains that we're going to be going to, and we will show you what that is like. And we'll also be doing our garden harvest. Our garden is just growing and growing. It was our experiment year and it's getting bigger, so that's exciting. And those videos are coming up along with these ones here that should be showing for you. So please do come along and enjoy the journey with us as we unplug from all the craziness. Bye-bye.